Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is H2 bringing you another video. Today we've got Gardevoir Burst Psychic Unblockables. And today we're going to be starting off on everybody's favorite magical fox, Braixen. I'm pausing right here because micro spacing on the counter is critical. Now it's not as important against some matchups, but in this particular one, Braixen's is a little hard to execute. So the execution we're about to see is drift in until the first hit and then drift out until the second hit. And stop your drift at the third hit. And we're pausing again because this is the other critical part. It's actually, there's timing on your diffuse for your energy ball, and it's going to be different for different situations. The energy ball diffuse timing here just happens to be a slight delay while Braixen's rising. You don't want to blow it up too early so that way it immediately hits her. You need to hit her while she's going up. And those are going to be the two main things, is energy ball diffuse and your spacing on your counter. You don't have to worry about timing psychic or anything. The only other thing that you have to time is your grab. So we always release psychic immediately here and just dash and time your grab for the end of your dash there. Here we go again. We're just switching her to backdash here. Counter, energy ball, psychic, caught her during the backdash. The psychic actually caught her immediately out of her iframes on the backdash, made us able to grab. We're doing it again, and this time our grab's gonna miss, so we're gonna follow up with some bigger damage than we would have gotten off the grab. So moving on to Charizard here. It's currently on block, and our counter spacing is just gonna be to drift in until the last hit of counter. So E-ball here, we're actually going to double E-ball immediately twice. No wait on the diffuse, psychic, grab. And we got him for a nice chunk of damage there. So we switch him to backdash. Drifting in, double E-ball. There's our psychic. And stored power for some damage. So here's another hard one. Garchamp's a bit of a problem child, probably the hardest one to execute an unblockable on. Your spacing is actually going to be to drift away and then in. And then we're going to go ahead and do our E-ball, and the timing on this is actually absurdly challenging. You have to release it quickly, and the hit from the diffuse has to hit him on the nose. But if he tries to backdash out, he'll end up taking about 360 damage total. So the next three are actually all the same execution: Guard, Lucario, and Sceptile. You're just going to counter, drift in until the last hit, E-ball, diffuse immediately, throw out your psychic, go ahead and dash in and grab. And like all the other setups, it's going to catch the backdash here. There you go. And it's going to be the same thing for Lucario here. Now, this is a good chance for me to talk about this. You can't actually tech your way out of these. I mentioned this in the Yveltal video. But if you try to tech this, you're just going to end up getting regrabbed. Usually that's about all the time you have for anything is for regrab. It's very hard to execute like a 13 frame move even and land that. You can really only land the 9 frame grab follow-up. So teching will just also get you grabbed. It's probably riskier to try and tech your way out of it anyways, just because like in case the guard messes up, you're guaranteed to actually get grabbed, as opposed to if they mess up the timing on something. If you're just blocking, then you know there's the chance that you can get in block stun and can't be grabbed. The other thing you can't do is you can't jump your way out. Ouroboros helped me test this. It's just going to end up being a free stored power. If you try and jump out, you'll get thrown into a free fall, and you'll actually land for an Oki if we don't follow up. So can't jump your way out of it either. Next up we got Pikachu. He's actually a little bit tricky. You're going to end up drifting in until slightly after the third hit, and you're going to do a slight delay on your diffuse here, and then throw out your psychic, grab, and same thing, rinse and repeat basically for all the different characters. It's just the execution differences. And in general, you're going to see we get more damage off of people backdashing. So backdashing is risky to do. Next up, we've got Machamp. Machamp is very similar to Pikachu. You're just going to drift in until slightly after the last hit. No diffuse stagger though. You're just going to diffuse immediately here. Throw out your Psychic immediately, like always. Dash in, grab. He tries to get out. Here, I'm just kind of highlighting you can get 3 stored power stacks if you want. Moving on to Mewtwo, you're just going to drift in all the way until the end of the counter animation, and then you're going to go ahead and diffuse at max spread, basically as late of a diffuse as you can. Psychic, dash in, grab. And in general, across all characters, you're going to end up with about 300-310 damage off the Unblockable. And just a little note, specifically for Mewtwo, you can always tell if you're properly landing the Unblockable on him by what your diffuse looks like. If it looks like this, where your stagger on your diffuse, only 1 projectile misses, then yeah, you got him, even if he tries to backdash. And Weavile's the same execution as Mewtwo. Drift all the way in, max diffuse stagger. So you're just going to make sure you diffuse as late as possible. Go ahead and Psychic, dash in, grab. Now there is a really silly thing with Weavile, and it's that you literally take away 2/3 of his health if he tries to backdash, so don't try and backdash as Weavile. This really hurts. Suicune is probably the funniest to execute this on, just because he falls weird and gets hit weird, goes up really high when he's comboed. But the spacing on counter is pretty simple. You just drift back until the last hit, and you're going to double E-ball with immediate diffuses on both. The second one is the one you care about. You have to read it. So depending on what happens here, like right here, he gets hit late by that 3rd projectile, and that means you have to delay your Psychic release like this, so it's coming out of your hands as that crater forms on the ground. And then you dash up and get a meaty grab, so it doesn't matter what he responds with. Now there's one other thing that can happen, and it has to do with the diffuse here. So if the diffuse happens like this, where everything hits at the same time on your second diffuse, you just release Psychic immediately, and then it'll catch a backdash if he happens to backdash, because the grab won't always be meaty in that situation. So versus the Ghosts, you actually have a 50-50, same with Shadow Mewtwo because of Teleport. You can just play it as a true 50-50, because it really is. You can dash up grab, or you can dash up throw out and attack. Whichever you want to go with, you can, or you can just, combo instead of doing the 50-50 for the guaranteed damage. But Guard's Oki is so strong that, it's probably worth, especially if you're in burst and they're not, it's probably worth going for the 50-50 regardless, instead of just finishing out a combo. And I know we haven't covered Blaziken or Pikachu Libre. Their their back dashes are too strong to be caught by an Unblockable unless you have a speed boost. So you can run Togekiss in order to do that, and it really simplifies things a lot. In general, the rule with Togekiss and the burst Psychic Unblockables is drift in and then delay your diffuse to hit while they're rising, and then just do your dash up grab. That pretty much covers everybody except for Lucario, Braixen, and Suicune, who you just, instead of drifting in, you drift away until the last hit, and you diffuse on their way up, and you dash grab. Except for Suicune, because you still have to apply the same rules to him because he's funky, like I said. And as a bonus, we can actually get Sceptile without burst mode. It's super risky, unfortunately, because it comes off of 6Y. But basically, you 6Y, E-ball, max diffuse, and then you dash up, and then you grab. And it will catch backdash even, as we can see here. And then we can get some more damage if he tries to backdash. And that'll wrap up this video. I'm actually going to put the notes for how to execute everything on everybody in the description below, so that way it's all written down for anybody who wants these. And please like, follow, subscribe, do the YouTube things, and I will catch you next time.